Most occupational fatalities are directly linked to the use of motorized vehicles. Every year, over 200,000 employees across Europe are involved in a road accident. The majority of these accidents could have been avoided if the drivers had followed the simple rules of defensive driving. The best way to remain safe is to adopt the techniques of defensive driving. That is, to anticipate risks and avoid them before things start going wrong. By being constantly aware of what is happening around you, you will always be ready to react to difficult or unexpected situations. This program shows you how to prevent accidents on the road. You will learn how to adopt a defensive driving attitude and how to be prepared for any eventuality. Always wear your seat belt. They cut down the risk of fatal or serious car accidents by more than half. Seat belts stop you being thrown through the windscreen and absorb the shock of a collision. They also help you maintain control of the vehicle by keeping you in your seat and thus contribute to the maximum effectiveness of any airbags fitted. Adjust the lap belt as close as possible to the hips, leaving thick clothes outside the belt. The upper part of the belt should lie comfortably on the shoulder. If the steering wheel is adjustable, position the upper edge at shoulder height, or lower, so that you can turn it easily. Hold the steering wheel with your hands placed at 2:45. This position offers the best control of steering wheel movements and easy access to control levers. A defensive attitude. An average passenger car weighs 1,100 kilos. At 60 miles per hour, your car has a destructive force of about 44,000 kilograms. Therefore, every driver has an enormous responsibility and owes it to everyone to adopt a defensive attitude. Around 90% of all accidents are caused by human error, which means that it's likely to be the driver, not the car, that causes the problem. Fear, joy, frustration, sadness and other emotions can cloud your concentration and lead to driving mistakes. If your emotions are high, take a little time to calm down. Breathe deeply or count to 10 to regain control of your emotions before you start the ignition. Always be courteous and stay calm. Even if the vehicle in front of you is driving too slowly, or if someone cuts in on you or does something stupid. Never let your emotions get the better of you to the point of taking out your frustrations through your driving. Running late can be a major cause of stress and can affect the way you drive. Give yourself enough time to allow for traffic jams or other difficulties that could hold you up. Don't drive too fast to make up time. It really is better to arrive late than never. Adapt your driving style to the traffic conditions. Whatever happens, stay within the maximum speed limit and drive on the inside lane except when overtaking. Your speed should be at a rate that allows you to keep control of your vehicle at all times and to make any emergency maneuver that might be necessary. People increasingly drive bumper to bumper, and this phenomenon known as tailgating is a major cause of road accidents. To check that you are driving at a safe distance from the car in front, use the 2-second rule. Choose a fixed point or a signpost along the roadside. Count 2 seconds from the moment the car in front of you passes that point. 1, 2. Your car should not get to that point before the 2 seconds are up. The gap should be at least doubled when the roadway is worn or when it's raining, snowing or foggy. When people have an accident, it is tempting to blame weather conditions or a particular situation. But it isn't circumstances that cause accidents. It's drivers not making the right decisions. If a vehicle is following too closely behind you, try your best not to get worked up. Avoid making any gestures, zigzagging, or slamming on the brakes. That could increase the risk of having an accident and could spark off the other driver's aggression. The best course of action is to keep driving at the same speed. When it is safe to do so, let the other vehicle overtake you, because you're far better off with the person in front of you than close behind. There are plenty of distractions. Losing concentration is a frequent cause of car accidents. However, it is easy to put this right. Devices inside the car can be a source of distraction. Mobile phones, navigation systems, and even laptop computers. Refrain from using these devices while you are driving. You should also avoid other forms of distraction, such as reading a map, writing, or eating. As soon as your mind wanders and you think about something other than your driving, your concentration level drops. Keep your attention on the traffic. It is constantly changing. Never forget that anything can happen at any moment. Never take alcohol or drugs when you drive. Drugs, alcohol, and medication mixed with car driving often causes death. The majority of fatal collisions and serious injuries are directly due to people driving under this influence. Drowsiness, longer reaction times, blurred vision, a false sense of alertness, and confusion are all side effects of drugs and alcohol that alter driving skills. The same goes for prescription and over-the-counter medication. Always stick to the recommendations on the label or leaflet, and if in doubt, don't drive. The defensive driver must also know how to spot other motorists under the influence. The telltale signs are erratic steering or zigzagging, irregular or extremely high speed, late or no reactions to road signs, vehicles driven in the dark with all the lights out. If you suspect someone is driving whilst under the influence, maintain a safe distance and do not overtake the other vehicle, because it could hit you if it swerves. If the vehicle is behind you, pull over to the near side at the first occasion and let it pass. If the vehicle is coming head-on, slow down and pull over as far as you can to the near side. Practice. Town driving. One-way streets, traffic jams, parked cars, pedestrians, cyclists and motorcyclists are all potential hazards when driving in a town or a built-up area. Be particularly on the lookout for children crossing the road in residential areas and near schools. And remember that in a busy street it may be necessary to drive slower than the designated speed limit. Turning safely is particularly important when driving in town. Indicate your change of direction to other road users by indicating as long a time in advance as possible, and then make sure you actually turn in that direction. Do not hesitate or suddenly change direction. Apply the same rules when you reverse or park. Clearly indicate your intentions, then wait until you can carry out your maneuver safely and smoothly. Be on full alert when you approach junctions. Look both ways and adjust your speed according to what you see. Do not assume that because the priority is yours, other drivers will give way. Remember, there are always drivers who break the highway code and ignore signals. Defensive driving means making sure it is safe to proceed before doing so. Practice motorway driving. You should adapt your speed to the traffic flow when you join a motorway. Carry out the following procedure as you approach the slip road. 1. Assess the available space for entering the traffic flow. 2. Accelerate to the appropriate driving speed. 3. Get into position for joining the motorway. 4. When you think you can pull in safely, use your indicator. 5. Drive onto the motorway. 6. Keep to the near side and only overtake on the off side. When you leave the motorway, indicate early and slow down as you approach the slip road. If you inadvertently miss an exit, never try to stop, reverse, or make a U-turn on the motorway. If you do miss your exit, continue on to the next one. If there is heavy traffic on the motorway and you see another vehicle wants to join the traffic flow, stay in your lane and give way, slowing down gently. To change lanes safely, first of all check that the lane is free. Use your indicator, steer into the other lane, and then turn off your indicator. Always overtake on the offside. Carry out your maneuvers smoothly. Look, indicate your direction, and only afterwards move to the side. If the traffic is heavy, you should increase the 2-second rule to at least 3 seconds to set your safety distance. Practice country roads. On country roads, you should expect to come across slow-moving farming machinery and other types of vehicle. Be prepared to brake or stop quickly if obstacles come up. Before overtaking, check there are no oncoming cars and that nobody is getting ready to overtake you. Do not overtake unless you can do so safely. If you can see an oncoming vehicle moving, you are probably too close to overtake. If in doubt, stay in your own lane and keep a good distance between you and the vehicle in front of you. Keep alert for other typically rural dangers, such as muddy road surfaces, soft verges, narrow bridges, and animals. Be even more on your guard when driving along roads you don't know, and beware of crossroads and private lanes. Summary. By adopting the principles of defensive driving explained in this program, you will considerably reduce the risk of having an accident. Regularly check your vehicle and stick to the maintenance schedule. Always fasten your seat belt. And do not drive under the influence of alcohol, drugs, or medication. Adopt a defensive attitude. Stick to the speed limit. Adapt your driving style to the circumstances and leave enough space between your car and the vehicle in front of you. Don't become one of the thousands of annual road accident victim statistics. A driving license is not a license to kill or be killed.